Alright guys, this is Trilbee and I just wanted to start this video by saying I love my 3DS.
Granted, while I may not have a large library of games for the thing, apart from my laptop, it's the only game console I have at university since I don't have a television. I've played some really good games on it and have even discovered a few hidden gems. While the 3D may not exactly be the best feature of the console, it does have a decent library of games and its online services are getting better by the day.
And one of those online services is something that started a couple of months ago, namely 3DS demos.
Nintendo have been a little bit late to the party, about 5 or 6 years too late, but they're finally incorporating demos for their consoles. To date there are only 8 demos available, a small number, yes, but at least it's a start. As long as Nintendo and other developers keep producing demos, then I can guarantee that they will see more sales and potential buyers.
So for today I'm going to take a look at one of the very first 3DS game demos, and that is Cooking Mama 4.
I'm not gonna lie, the Cooking Mama series has never appealed to me, mainly because I'm a male and above the age of 12, so this 3DS demo for Cooking Mama 4 is my introduction to the franchise, so let's just see how this goes. I'll just get this out of the way first. Because you're viewing this through a camera, you cannot see the 3D effect, but I will say that it's okay. However, since most of the action happens on the bottom screen, I doubt you'll be paying much attention to the effect. But it works well when Cooking Mama rushes towards you or when something flies up to the top screen, and since it's going for a cartoon style motif, the 3D is very well defined and you can easily tell what's in the background and what isn't. But now it's time for the game. Oh god, it's so cheery and happy that it might give me a migraine. Okay, for this demo we only have one option, and that's to create a pizza. What happened to Mama's eyes? Okay, so the first step is to sift the flour. What you have to do is tap the sieve and flour will fall into the bowl below. If you tap on one side too much, then the flour spills and it gets everywhere, including Mama's face.
Okay, so if you get too carried away, then Cooking Mama gets white stuff on her face. I know that this is a kid's game, but that innuendo was just too much for me to resist.
In the event flour does get everywhere, you have to blow into the 3DS's microphone to blow it away, so I do give the game props for utilising the features of the hardware. So yeah, it's a basic mini-game requiring at least a little bit of attention if you want to get it right. There's also a time limit on the top screen, but it never became a problem. There, all done. I screwed up once though, so I hope my score isn't too bad.
Wow. Okay, I get flour everywhere, but this game ends up giving me its highest accolade. But anyway, I'm not complaining, but bit weird.
The next challenge is mixing. You'd think that if you mixed too hard then it would just splatter everywhere and you get penalised for it, but no, the faster you go the better. However, this random hand comes out of nowhere and occasionally adds an ingredient. If you're still mixing when the hand shows up, then the mix goes everywhere and you are penalised. But if you get it right, the ingredient gets added and you can carry on as normal. The added ingredient even spews out hearts if you've done it right. Talk about cooking with love.
So yeah, I messed up a couple of times during that segment, so my score can't have been all that impressive. Wow, even better than Mama. Okay.
The next stage is kneading the dough. You do this by, that looks wrong. My darling, can't get enough your love, babe. Once you've done that long enough, you pick up the dough and the instructions tell you to drop the dough hard. Okay then?
What the hell? I did it too hard?
In actuality, you have to very lightly tap the dough down. The instructions could have been worded a lot better.
Okay, there's no way I can get a perfect score after that, not after cocking up so many times.
Wow, even better than Mama.
Okay, well maybe that's just a consolation prize. For all I know, Mama could be a really horrible cook. Well, she kinda has to be if I'm doing better than her.
The next game is stretching the dough. At this stage it becomes apparent that these aren't exactly cooking tutorials, but a mini-game compilation with the cooking framework as window dressing. I bet the developers just came up with some random stylus movements first and added the cooking aspects later. I might as well just be playing WarioWare or Mario and Sonic Olympics. The next game is can opening.
Really? Well, God forbid if Cooking Mama maybe got a house building spin-off minigame, then I'd have to sit through the watching paint dry level.
A can opener? Really? We're making a pizza and one of the steps is how to open a can? Granted, if you're using tinned tomatoes, then that's something you're going to have to do in real life, but at one point in the demo you're putting herbs on a pizza. There wasn't a game where you had to pick the herbs from the garden, or open a plastic bag if you bought them from a shop. There's practically no skill involved. It's up, down, up, down, up, down. What? I did exactly what the game told me to do, and the feedback came across as positive. But there's so much time on the clock I can do it again and still get a perfect score.
Wow, even better than Mama.
You know, game, it's okay if you tell me I did a bad job at something. I'm not going to go crying to my parents because you said I did a bad job at opening a tin of tomatoes. I think my psyche can take it.
The next stage is to spread the sauce on the pizza base. Well, that was simple. Next is to put the cheese on the pizza.
So what, are we going to be delicate? Do we have to evenly distribute the cheese across the base, or what do we...
We're throwing it on? At least the previous games had some semblance of reality, but this is just unprofessional. If you worked in a kitchen and threw the cheese on like that, then you'd probably get fired, not a pat on the back and told that you're even better than Mama. Also, you're the one throwing the cheese on the pizza, yes? Then who's this nameless person who's trying to move the pizza around and ruin your efforts? Is it Mama herself? Is she deliberately trying to sabotage your pizza? She did say that you're better than her, so maybe she's trying to make you look bad. That way she can continue to appear great and front her own video game series. I'm thinking too much into these things, but then again, when you do a good job, she looks sick. Her sparkly eyes, the smile that takes up half her face, it doesn't seem right. I bet under that cheerful facade is a psychopath. The next game is pattern memorization. The game tells you which order to pluck the herbs. While I'm sure in actual cooking the order you put the leaves on the pizza isn't important, but like I said, I bet the developers just came up with the minigame first, then the cooking framework afterwards. It's not a bad game, but the leaves are so close together, it's easy to pick the wrong one and ruin your score.
Okay, and now it's time for the final stage.
And that's putting the pizza in the oven.
Okay, now be sure to ask a grown-up to help you with this level, because the oven is hot, hot, hot.
Okay, according to the instructions you simply have to flick the pizza forward. Sounds simple enough? Okay, let's try again, but harder.
What the hell?
This game has one fatal flaw. The touch controls are not sensitive enough. You can flick that stylus as hard as you can, it will not reach that target. I managed to do it once, but I have no idea how. The prompts just don't help at all. Also, we're expected to put 5 pizzas in there. We prepared 1, but where did the other 4 come from?
Okay, so by the end I only managed to get 1 out of 5 pizzas in the oven. But let me guess, I did better than Mama, right?
While the game still gives you a medal, just look at Mama's eyes. They're consumed by flames. Cooking Mama is the devil. Just look at how quickly Mama goes back to normality. She's clearly struggling to keep the beast inside of her in check.
Okay. Right, so I've only played one 10-minute demo, and I can already tell that not only is Cooking Mama not of this earth, but she could very well be the daughter of Satan. But let's not worry about that. Let's see how my pizza turned out.
And my results are in. A silver medal and...
Wow, even better than Mama.
yes, even better than Mama. Even though the pizza didn't even get in the oven, so basically you're serving up a raw pizza. Mama, you're a terrible cook if that's better than something you serve up in your kitchen.
Okay, I'm not going to judge Cooking Mama based on this single demo, because that's not fair and this was only just for a bit of fun. But thanks to this demo, I can now say for certain that Cooking Mama definitely isn't for me.
Its visual aesthetics are too cutesy for me, and if I wanted to play a minigame compilation, I'd look elsewhere. But looking objectively, sometimes the instructions are too vague, and even then the reward system is far too forgiving. But the game does look like fun in short bursts, and fans of these types of games will probably eat it up.
I'm sure the game has its fans, and if you are one of them, then that's great, but it's not really my cup of tea. After playing that game, I'm starting to feel a little bit hungry. I might go make myself a pizza, but no, not the Cooking Mama way. We're going to make it the Trilbee way.
Wow, even better than Mama.
Trumpets!